29th of November 2024. Sorry about the delay getting started. All YouTube's fault. I was ready, and when I went to go live, it just gave me a grey screen. And I tried again and again and again to go live. It wouldn't let me. I reset the phone. It wouldn't let me go live. And in the end, I've had to start a new stream, which many of you won't find possibly for a few more minutes. So I'll just say hello. I'll just say hello. As things stand, it's very windy down here at the boat dock this morning as well. So might be an issue with the microphone I've got here. So if it is windy, do let me know in the chat. But no one's watching at the moment. So yeah, thanks YouTube for cocking that up. I was so ready. I was so ready. I've even got a petition. I've got a petition going. We've got one person watching. Hey, Cluster Bungle. Hello there. And Star Rise says, I'm here. Hello, Star. Hello, Alistair. Oh, thank God. Thank God you're here. I'm coming across really low bandwidth here. So I don't know if I'm going to look a bit Minecrafty. I'm going to put my hand, I'm going to gently cup my microphone. Hopefully it won't be so windy on the mic. Obviously I lost my fluffer the other day. It fell off and fell between the cracks in the boat dock here, in the boathouse. Anyway, greetings from the boathouse of Ginger Island. Today we're going to be talking about Twitter and X, as it's now known, which is a cesspit of ineptitude. Honestly, it's disgusting what it's turned into. Loads of people have left. They've joined Threads or joined Blue Sky. We'll pop over to the other live. You had 44 in chat. Oh shit! I'm so sorry. Like, it was just me going out my mind here, pressing go live, go live, go live, and YouTube just going nope. And then I reset the phone, and it still went, nope. And I was just like, what? Why are you doing this to me, YouTube? You bastard. Okay, glad it's not just me who's having trouble, says Dark 4x4. No, yeah, we missed the fluffer. We do miss the fluffer. I'm going to have to gently cup it. I can't get into X since Musk took over, says Gary Arnold. Badges. So, Elon Musk used Twitter to incite riots in the United Kingdom over the summer. He used Twitter to get his good chum, his fellow narcissist shitbag, Donald Trump elected. He used Twitter to promote Reform UK for some reason. He used Twitter to promote a petition against the current UK government asking for another referendum. No, not a referendum. Sorry, that's you're not allowed to do that, are you? Asking for another election because you didn't like the result of the first one. And he promoted this petition, and it got sort of like 3 million signatures, many of whom were bots. This is the funny thing about it. Many of them were bots. And what do you do with an army of bots? Well, you ignore them safely. But what we can do. So anyone who's interested in, I was talking about what we can do with bots to be like good bots, well, evil bots. What I'm thinking is, well, I've already done it. I've made a petition. No X, please. We're British. Calling for the banning of X in Britain. Now, let's be realistic. It's not going to happen. The government are very, very unlikely to ban a single social media network. However, we can get the bots on it going like crazy and force the UK government to shore up its way of processing petitions to make sure that people don't bot the hell out of it like they did with this general election petition. So that might be a good thing to come of it. I mean, they might actually ban Twitter. I don't think they will. But the other good thing that'll come out of it, it will really piss off Elonia, Leon, Elmo, the guy who runs X, the guy who runs SpaceX, and Sissy SpaceX, that guy, Sissy SpaceX. And he runs Tesla into the ground as well. The meme stock that is Tesla. Yeah, basically, it will annoy Elon, and I mean, it'll probably hopefully get a lot of coverage in the press because of the "No X, please, we're British." It's just a great line to use. It's just a great line, isn't it? Come on, let's face it. And I'm sure they'll pick up on it, especially if you start getting hundreds of thousands of signatures. And do you know what? We probably don't even need to bot it that much, because there are so many people on Threads and Blue Sky who are absolutely sick of Elon Musk and Twitter. It would just be a way of basically pissing him off. And I think loads of people will respond to that. I would respond to that. I did respond to that. I made a petition. Anyway, I needed 5 signatures, and 5 of my friends, including Supertansky, have signed it now. So it's going through the process of seeing whether it's acceptable as a petition. It better bloody have be. I wrote up a good little thing about the fact that it spread information, it puts children at harm, it undermines our democracy, all this kind of stuff. So, I made a good case for it to be banned. And if you can have a petition to ban, I don't know, poppers or something, I don't see why you can't have a petition to ban this. Why you would ban poppers is beyond me then. Badges. Luckily bots don't vote yet, says that Josh. Hell's teeth, I can travel through space and time. I didn't know I had such powers. Piss off, risk, excellent, go for it, Graham. I reckon a few of us should keep a Twitter account just to flood it with badges, keep it confused. I've kept my Twitter account, and I wrote about this on my Blue Sky account, like why I'm keeping my Twitter account. There are 3 reasons, right? One is effectively cyber swatting. I don't want someone taking my handle and then posting things as if they're me, that are like fascist, racist, sexist, transphobic, whatever, right? I don't want that. Secondly, I like the fact that I'm taking up space on the Twitter servers. That costs them money. That bit of space costs them a bit of money. And if we all do that, then we cost them a lot of money for stuff that's never used. I was talking the other day about infrastructure, British infrastructure that we have to pay for. Old rail infrastructure like bridges and viaducts and tunnels and things that we still have to maintain, even though we don't use them anymore because they're derelict, disused. The same thing happens with Twitter. Like, they have to maintain those accounts. They have to keep the data that you have entered into that account over the last 10, 15 years. They have to keep it unless you shut down your account. So don't shut down your account. And then the third reason is, now and again, I want to go on there just to call Elon Musk. See you next Tuesday. See that? I didn't get demonetized because I got no super chats in today. No X, we're British. Hello, number 3. Chat, hit the like button. Hit the like button. So what do you reckon? Do you reckon we should do this? Do you reckon we should petition to ban X? We're banning it, Josh. It's happening. Thanks very much for everyone who signed it. I'm gonna sit up actually, because it's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit hedonism bot, I think. Is it a bit hedonism bot to just be sitting lying in a hammock talking to you? Now we live in time of Elon Earth. Well, yeah, he's not the best, is he? He's not the best. Who would have thought we'd end up with a racist from South Africa? That's not something I thought would ever happen. What else are people saying? Graham, go for it. I get loads of thumbs up, which is good. Number 3's in the chat. Hello, Richard. Hello, how you doing? And yes, hell's teeth. I like that expression. And yeah, talking about using bots to fight bots, because what you can do is you can use the same techniques that the right use to piss off the right. And if they complain about it, you go, okay, well, let's ban bots. Do it, ban them. It's a win-win. It's an absolute win-win, because we don't need bots. They do, because it's all AstroTurf. They have no grassroots. It's all AstroTurf. It's all the right-wing stuff is all think tanks, Tufton Street, Heritage Foundation, Federalist Society. It's all very rich men in smoky rooms, walnut-panelled rooms, making deals over a bottle of very, very expensive gin, probably. 4x4, thank you very much for the £25 super chat. That's really kind. I voted for Brexit. I feel the love. I'll be happy to discuss the reasons at length over a few pints. You're paying for them, mate, because those fucking pints are twice the price now. Thanks, mate. Thanks for voting for the prices of everything to increase. Double. Like I got a bottle of I don't know, Stella or something from the Jacaranda pub in Liverpool the other day, the other week when I was in Liverpool, and it was like £4.60 or something for a fucking bottle. It used to be £1. Like not that long ago, it was literally £1. I shit you not. And now it's like 4 times the amount. Yeah, good old Brexit. Making everything more expensive and making racists very happy. That's what you want to do. Make things more expensive and make racists more happy. Then go for it. Yay, Brexit. We'll trade with the rest of the world. We'll trade with Malawi. It's a long way to go to Malawi for your goods and services. But whatever. Let's all chat with people. You know, let's do business. Let's do business with people in different time zones because that's easy, isn't it? I'll do me morning brew at 9:30 like I used to in GMT. Actually, I can't do it 9 GMT because that'll be like what 4:30 in the morning for me, and it'll be dark. And I've got no lecky at night. Milan Husk, first of the bot wars. Yes. We all make mistakes. The thing is, what's that? How's that working for you now that you're poorer and impose economic sanctions? Well, it's all right because Dot 4x4 is going to be buying me loads of pints that are dead expensive, like £7 for a pint more. Like, just what? I'm not used to these London prices up in Newcastle or Liverpool. It makes no sense to me. But yeah, we're talking about. Twitter, like honestly, it's not just that it's become 4chan. It's like the new 4chan. Oh, got another super chat. Ooh, 4x4. Wow, God, Jesus, thank you very much. 4x4's dropped £50 in the super chat fund. Thank you. There'll be pints of rum, the good stuff. I didn't say there were good reasons, just reasons. Brilliant. Takamaka rum from the Seychelles, the best rum in the world. Imagine a rum, but it tastes like marshmallows. It tastes like marshmallow rum. Oh God, it's so good. It makes me cry just thinking about Takamaka rum from the Seychelles. Hard to get hold of in the UK, but worth it. Worth it. This shows honour, says one angry pagan. Is one angry pagan a pagan, or is he a Klingon? Some of the things that one angry pagan says makes me think that he might actually be of Klingon descent. This shows honour. Today is a good day to die. Today is a good day to be angry about being a pagan. I might make Twitter-free Tuesdays last all week like Black Friday. The way it's going anyway, I mean, people are getting off Twitter left, right and centre. The Guardian have left. People are not using it anymore just because it's so abusive. Like you put any message on there, it's just like a million people telling you that you're a dickhead and that you're bald and that you're a cook and that, which is a really weird insult. Like, I'm a pretty good cook. Like I cook a really, really good roast dinner. Like I make the gravy from scratch. My mum taught me how to do it when I was a kid. It's so good. Like on these islands, my roast dinners were renowned, as was my scouse. If I had a big party, I'd make 2 big pots of scouse. I'd make proper scouse with lamb. Well, it's hard to get lamb around these parts, of beef usually. And I'd make blind scouse, which is the vegetarian version for the veggies. And it's renowned, absolutely renowned. Chili con carne. Oh, mate. I make a good chili con carne, and I can cook rice. Like you give me a can, right? You give me a can, and I'll put that on the camp stove, right? And I will cook rice, and it'll be perfect. I guarantee it. In a can. That's my challenge to you. Can you cook rice in a can? Don't think you can. Anyway, so calling me a cook's not really an insult. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can cook. What's the problem? Why is that a big thing? Anyway, pagan honour to your house, says Paul. One angry pagan says, honour is solely missing. I always have a strong sense of it. Germanic pagans like myself especially value honour. Brilliant. No, I mean, I'm not. I was just, ribbing you about the Klingon thing, but they're very much into their honour, aren't they? This day is a good day to die. You love it. You love it when Worf says that. Also, when Worf gets denied, there's a whole video on YouTube. It's a supercut, and it's Worf getting denied. Like people just going, no, to Worf, and like Worf's like, can we do this? And like, no, Worf, can we go and kill them all? No, Worf, no, Worf. Shut up, Wesley. Blessed be Paul Ewan. Thank you very much, Paul, for that super chat, mate, as well. George Mombayot. How do you pronounce his surname? Someone tell me in the chat how to pronounce his name. I like George Monbiot, but he is part of the private school mafia. You know, he is part of the Metropolitan elite. And therefore, I don't know if he's the best person to be talking about the environment. We need more working class voices talking about the environment. It's as simple as that, because a lot of us we just turn off when we hear those plummy voices. We just go, oh God, you know, we're being lectured to. You know, it feels like homework, listening to someone who's posh tell you things. It's like, oh God, okay. Well, no, I mean, if they're imparting information, let's put it this way. If it's Stephen Fry, who's obviously part of the private school mafia, if it's Stephen Fry, you think, well, he's imparting wisdom, you know, he's telling us stuff that we didn't know. That's quite nice. But asking you to do stuff, which is imperative when it comes to climate change, asking you to do stuff, I'm not inclined. I'm not inclined when a posh person. I know a lot of people are. They've got this huge deference. They've got this whole doff cap, tug forelock thing going on. But I don't. I just go, I just can't be arsed listening to you. There was a guy. I was flicking through TikTok last night, and there was a guy on there, right? And he was talking such sense about the environment, like really good stuff about the environment in this interview that was going on. I don't know who he was, but he was tremendously posh, and he had come to the interview dressed as Mr. Tumble. And I was just like, why? He was wearing what looked like dungarees, but that were tied here and here, and they were like brightly coloured. And I was just like, Rupert. Yeah, sorry, I made you jump there, but yeah, he had a lot of he had a lot of really good stuff to say, but there's a little part of me that just doesn't want to listen to someone who's possibly wearing red trousers. I didn't see his trousers. I just imagine that they were probably red. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, you see, the thing is, what we need to do with the environment is really take hold of the situation and bring the big corporations, the oil execs, to account, you know? I mean, you know, after they've finished paying the bill, after they've taken me out to the Savoy restaurant, oh, more cigars, more cocaine. Plebs. And that's it. I mean, it's that thing of like, it's not going to affect them. Like, the rich are not going to be as affected by climate change as the rest of us. And they're certainly not going to be as affected by climate change as the poorest people in the world, the global south, people living in coastal areas who are going to be inundated over the next few years with water that they can't stop coming up. Like, I mean, there's a huge problem in Jakarta at the moment. The entire city is sinking. The entire city is based on it's on water, essentially. I mean, it's on the sea, but I mean, there's a huge aquifer under the ground, and basically, the more they use the aquifer to supply water to themselves, a legacy of the Dutch rule, the colonial Dutch rule in Jakarta, was that only the rich houses had access to clean water and everyone else just had to pump their water out of this aquifer. And so much water has been taken out that the entire city, which is incredibly concrete because white Western men went over there and decided that everything should be built out of concrete because nothing should be natural or beautiful or local or cultural anymore anywhere in the world. It's all got to be boxes made of concrete Euro boxes dropped anywhere in the world. Milton Keynes, Honiara, doesn't matter where you drop it, just drop it off there and we'll all be good. Flat roof, yeah, it leaks, who cares? Woo, flat roofs are great. Cantilevers, flat roofs, no windows, maybe loads of windows, maybe just a whole wall of windows like the bus shelters that you have. Bus station, we made a bus station. Grand Designs made a bus station. Put some shipping containers in the middle of a field, a beautiful field, and put some shipping containers. Or even better, take an old building, put a shipping container on the side of it, and then a glass wall on it. Just make one wall of glass, even though the structure of a shipping container, the corrugated structure actually holds it together. So if you cut a hole in it for a door or for a window, for instance, it undermines the structural integrity of the container. It's meant for shipping stuff around the world. It's not meant for fucking living in, you absolute dickheads. Anyway, went off on one a bit there, but yeah, the fact that the rich have options, whereas the rest of us have fewer options, and people living in the global south who, you know, looking at seeing their entire countries go underwater. I talk about Tuvalu a lot, but an even bigger issue is Bangladesh. Bangladesh is over 200 million people live in Bangladesh. More than that, I think it's 400 million. It's a huge country, huge population, quite a small country. And over half the population live below sea level. Where are they going to go? You know, there's a tiny bit of a border with Burma or Myanmar. And the rest of it is surrounded by India. And I don't know if you know this about India, but India doesn't tend to get on well with its neighbours. You know, they're kind of cordial with Bangladesh these days, but they have a lot of beef with Pakistan. They have a lot of beef with China, even Nepal. You know, Nepal famously is at to India is at 5.5 hours ahead of GMT, right? 5.5 hours, 5:30. Okay, so Nepal, right, didn't want to be in the same time zone as India because Nepal and India don't get on. So in order to differentiate themselves from India, they didn't go for the +6 hours ahead time zone. No, because that would have been a bit too much. So instead, they went for the and you can look this up. The 5:45. 5:40. So you've got to work out what time it is in London, and then add 5.75 of an hour, and then you can work out what time it is in Nepal. True story. But yeah, so where the refugees going to go? Where the refugees from Bangladesh who cannot live there anymore? Like this isn't. They're not fleeing because of poverty necessarily. They're not fleeing because of war, conflict, whatever, or discrimination. They're fleeing because their literal houses aren't there anymore. The place where they lived, the land on which they live, will be underwater. As will Hull. You know, got to take the rough with the smooth, I guess. We need to sort out the definitions of working class, really, says Scott. Yeah, that's true. I like Hannah Fry. She didn't go to a posh school. I like Hannah Fry. There's something about her, isn't there? She's just the kind of person that you'd love to have as a dinner party guest, because you know she'll be fascinating and quite fun. And yeah, Hannah Fry. Yeah, we like her. Maybe she's the daughter of Stephen Fry, or does that not work that way? My godfather has a song on YouTube, one of which is actually called I See Blue Skies. I'll search for I See Blue Skies. Posh accent, Mon Bio. Okay, like B.O., like, okay. Actually, it's smelling quite fresh. I just had a nice hot shower here on Ginger Island. We do have a hot shower. And yeah, sprayed a bit of perfume on, no, deodorant, male perfume, which we call deodorant, or aftershave. Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? And I love the gendered products that we have in this world. Like, it's not, you know, it's not perfume for men. It's aftershave. It's fucking perfume, mate. It's perfume. It's just perfume. Shut up. It's basically perfume. Yes, but it's a manly scent. It's perfume. It's you're perfuming yourself. No, it's aftershave. It's a manly thing because you do it after you shave. Bearded people can't wear aftershave because they don't shave. They trim, which is different. But this is really funny, like Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola brought out Diet Coke, and that was seen as a product for women. And so they brought out Coke Zero, which is exactly the same product, but they gave it a black can. They made the colour scheme different so they could market it to men. Same with Pepsi, Diet Pepsi and Pepsi Max. It's just bonkers. And then you've got like things like shampoo and stuff. If it's marketed towards women, it costs twice as much. It's the same freaking stuff. There's in fact loads of products, especially in like beauty ranges and stuff, that the men have the same product. It's just called something else, and it's half the price. Just use like female razors. Like men's razors are way cheaper than female razors. They're exactly the bloody same. They're the same, except the women's ones are pink. Jesus, I've gone off on one, haven't I? It just amuses me no end. And then there's the thing of like, the grass is always greener. So in the UK, fake tan is a huge thing, you know, for people who want to look like Donald Trump. You know, if you want to look like a plumper lumper like Trump, you put your orange on, and you got this lovely orange skin. Makes it look like you got jaundice or something. Is that more yellow? And then you go to Singapore or Malaysia, and all the products to make your skin look whiter, because they're like, oh, I'm not happy with my actual skin that is beautifully tanned and looks gorgeous. I'm going to make it whiter because that's the thing that I haven't got. So I need the thing that I haven't got. It's just bizarre. It's just bizarre. But you know, money to be made. Marketing. They'll always make their money back. I told them. I said, you never make your money back. I buy men's razors, says Diz. Good idea. The maths department at Bristol Uni is the Fry building. I wish it was named after Hannah, but it's from the inventor of the chocolate bars. Did Mr. Fry invent chocolate bars, though? I think did he? I think that was the Mayans. Picard, Mr. Worf, you have acted with absolute barbarity. Nicely done. Do they still recruit Gurkhas from Nepal in India? Nepal's not in India. Nepal's a different country, Billy. Like, and yes, we still recruit Gurkhas. A really interesting thing of sort of looking back over British colonial history is that sometimes Britain did things and there's a stroke of genius in there. Okay, so I'll give you some examples. In the Kerala, Pondicherry region of India, the Dutch came, the Portuguese came, the French came, and one by one they all kind of got booted out. And the reason was this: it was every time a country came, they were like, "We need to change you all to Christians. We need to make you all Christians. We need to convert you all to Christianity." And they'll only give jobs in the government, local government, local admin people, local administrators. They'd only give them if you were going to convert to Catholicism and speak French, for instance. Whereas the British gave less of a shit about that. They just didn't seem to be that arsed about it, which is why one of the reasons why Britain arguably did better in subjugating natives than other colonial powers. I mean, it's all relative. And then there's Singapore. Singapore, someone looked at it on a map. It was a swamp. It was just the swampy island off the southern tip of Peninsula Malaya. And they said, we need to set up a port here. We need to set up a port town. I'm like, why? Well, because every ship coming from China round to India or to Europe or wherever, they're going to go past here. They're going to go past this point. And if we've got a nice little, if you take this fishing village and we turn it into a port, one day it'll be the biggest port in the world, my friend. And oh my God, go to Singapore, go to that. There's a stupid building. It's got 3 buildings and it's got a ship on top. It looks really stupid. It looks like a surfboard or something. It's got perched on top of these 3 buildings. It's the daftest thing you could imagine. I really despair for modern architecture. But you go up the top of that and you can see for miles and everywhere, every direction out to the sea. All you can see in the sea are just cargo ships and hundreds of cargo ships waiting to come into port. Yeah, and then going on about the Gurkhas. So there was a war between the British and the Nepalese because when Britain was sort of taking over the Indian, subjugating the Indian subcontinent, they went to India. They went to Nepal, which was at the time known as Gurkhaland. Fun fact. And the Gurkhas fought with such ferocity. The British were like, "Fucking hell! All right, guys, we'll leave you to it. All right, you can run your own affairs. Can we have some of your soldiers?" Which is a really interesting way of looking at things when you lose a battle, when you lose a war. You're like, "I'm going to take over this country," and the country goes, "No, you're not," and you go, "Yeah, you're right, we're not. Okay." But tell you what, come work for us. We'll pay you. You'll be part of our army because you are better than our soldiers. You mad bastards. And they were like, "Yeah, okay, sure." And that's how the Gurkhas formed. True story. So sometimes Britain made these. I mean, it made a million bad decisions that we probably don't even realise or think about. But now and again, it struck gold in its way of dealing with stuff around the world. So Singapore is an entirely manufactured place. No one lived there. It was a village. It was like a fishing village. And most of the people who live there are actually Han Chinese in descent because they were brought there by the British. They're not, being a native Singaporean, most people in Singapore, from Singapore, don't necessarily look like the people from next door in Malaysia or from Indonesia because they were all sort of imported there. A lot of them, not all of them, obviously, by the Brits. Okay, back into the chat now because I have neglected you for far too long. How did the tree harvest go? We haven't done it yet. So yesterday we had 8 more batches of soil come to the island. We've got another 8 today, and that should be it for the soil. And then I've got a problem at the moment is that I can't take any more money out of my cash machine. The cash machine, I told you this the other day. Basically, I've maxed out my monthly limit, and it resets tomorrow. I don't know why it resets on the 30th, but apparently it resets tomorrow. So it's quite a long way, and we have to pay for fuel to go and get the trees, and I don't have the money to pay for the fuel. So what we're going to have to do tomorrow morning, bright and early. I'm not doing a show tomorrow. Sorry, I was going to tell you this later. Sorry to let you down, but I'm not doing a show tomorrow morning because I've got to get up early. We've got to head to town. I've got to get some money out from the bank. I've got to get some fuel. Then we're going to go to Almirante on the mainland, and we're going to get some stuff from there. And then we're going to go to Ishmael's farm. We're going to get some trees and plants and things like that. We're going to dig them up, put them into the bags that we've been bringing the soil over in, and we'll then be coming back here. We might be going to Ishmael's dad's farm as well and picking some stuff up, and then all day Saturday we're going to be planting stuff. I might do some videos. I might do some live videos if I can. It's a bit hard getting a decent signal on the island. Here on the boat dock's the best place to get signal. That's why I normally come here to do that. But yeah. Tree planting to be tomorrow. I've just done a video. I did a video yesterday, a tour of Ginger Island, just touring and showing you the bits that we've we've built our barrier, our coastal defences, our dike, our levee. We have brought the Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Yeah, so I'll show you around the island on that video. It's already uploaded. I just need to make a thumbnail for it, so I'll do that immediately after this. So look out for that here on YouTube. And yeah, if you can help us out in any way for the last little bit of this adventure, because I'm leaving on Sunday morning, so this is going to be my last broadcast from Ginger Island, my last live broadcast, I think, unless I do something tomorrow as we're planting trees, but that will probably be in the afternoon for us, so it'll be in the evening for you, so look out for that. We will, I don't know if you want to watch us planting trees. I can't see how that would be particularly exciting. I don't know, maybe it will be. But yeah, if you would like to join us for that, you can do. But yeah, if you're going to help us out with there's a link in the description to our wonderful crowdfunder, which has managed to get over 2,000 bags of soil to the island. We've actually brought, I think I worked it out, we've brought over 4,000 bags of soil over to the island now, and we've probably got another few hundred today. And then yeah, we'll be leaving it at that and see how we go as the tide comes in. The tide is quite high at the moment. Yeah, it's coming up quite high. You can tell how high it is because if it's touching the leaves, if you look under my hammock, you can see there's leaves touching the water there. You can see that. Yeah, that shows it's quite a high tide. In fact, if I show you the other way, should I show you the other way? No, Graham, I don't care about the other way. Shut up. Right, yeah, you can see there that there's leaves actually in the water. It's a bit grey, but you know, it's nice. It's a nice breeze actually. Oh, look. What? Andrew, you are an absolute legend. £300 super chat. So it didn't come up on my screen. I had to press on the screen. Oh my god. Hope fuel and possibly savings then. Oh my god, thank you. Thank you so much, Andrew. You are an absolute freaking legend. All right, that's it. It's just the Andrew Dixon show now. What would you like me to do, Andrew? Just tell me. Just you know, I can't sing very much. Do you want me to do a little dance? Do you want me to dance? Oh my God! Thank you. Seriously. Oh my God! I can't believe that. Woo! Barclay card rewards card charges or interest withdrawn. You paid off. Second that, Andrew, you are a legend. I've had little patience like a thank you for the heavy. I told my friend Oh, thank you, Andrew. Thank you. I'll make sure some of that money goes to Turtle Sanctuary over in Boca. And also, there's a wonderful program called Give and Surf, which is set up by a group of surfers on Bastimentos Island, and that's it's an educational foundation for the local children, and I'll be giving a bit of money to that as well. So, thank you very much. The sea turtles, the surf, and also helping us, build up the defences for Ginger Island, and we've got to put some trees in because the trees keep the soil together. Trees are really, really, really important to the island, and hopefully, like I said, come back here in March next year, and hopefully by then we would have retaken and we would have, rather than the sea. I suppose the sea is nature, but the reason why it is rising is man-made. It's not natural. These constant high tides are not constant tides. Sorry, when we get these really high tides, let's put it that way, these super tides these king tides are not normal. I mean, you get every, but literally, every freaking day, which is what was happening here on the island before we built the barrier. But the barrier seems to be working rather well, and it was really exciting yesterday because in my Converse shoes, as you can see. You see how muddy my jeans are? Jesus Christ, look at the mud on that. Our out, and now you should be hearing me through the phone audio. Sound's gone. Oh, this is my fault for kicking my foot up in the air, innit? Sound's gone. Okay, now. Okay, right. Just give that a lick. Give it a lick and stick it back in. Okay, yes, we're back. Okay, I'm going to put the microphone back in. Okay, right. Let me know if you can still hear me. Let me know. 5, 4. That's not 4. That's the 3. 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you still hear me? Thumb up. We've got a thumb up. Okay. Okay, Lee. Sorry. What happened then is I put my foot up to show you me shoes, and basically it pulled the mic a little bit. It pulled on the mic, and that crackly though. Oh, I'll leave it out, and you can just hear me. It is crackly. Okay. I've broken my microphone. Shit. Right, come here. It's reconnecting. Oh, bloody hell. Number 3, thank you very much for the £2 super chat, mate, for a better microphone. And Alistair, thank you very much for the £20. Oh my God, everyone's been so generous today. Noisy, it's been noisy for a while. Are you getting? We're back in the room. Are you getting on the camera there? Are you? One side is. The camera is gust the wind. Haha, oh dear, says Scott. The tech problems. Might use the super chat, get myself a better mic. The only Badger relative in Panama is called the Tyra. I hope you get to see one. Well, we've got a raccoon. We've got a raccoon on the island. Little tricksy raccoon, the one who ate my bananas the other day. Ishmael saw a raccoon, so we know that there's a raccoon on the island. And also, Pickle the dog, right? Doesn't bark. She just doesn't bark. People will come and go from the island. She just goes and has a look and then walks back. She just doesn't bark. But she saw the raccoon the other day on the island and she started barking. I was like, oh my God, I've never heard you bark before. It's like that joke about the German kid who doesn't speak, and one day he gets given an apple, and he says, "This apple is not good." I was like, "Oh my god, you can talk! This is amazing!" And it was quite exciting. I guess you had to be there. I've known Pickle now for about bloody 6 years or something, and I've never known her to bark. Raccoons aren't quite mustelids. Gary, according to Don McLean. What's this from Tim? The Tyra is a badass, and it's a small honey badger. Love honey badgers. Wouldn't want to come across one in a dark alley, but honey badgers are so cool. Anyway, where were we? We got so distracted about talking about Pondicherry and bloody, I don't know, all this other stuff. We were talking about Musk, right? So I was telling you about the petition that I've written up this morning. It's got its 5 signatures, so hopefully it'll go to. They've got to check it to make sure that, it can be a petition. Hopefully that'll go through. It might take a couple of weeks. Don't know. I was quite surprised that no one's done this before. Like when it comes up, because it looks to see it there's a similar petition, but no one's done it before. So hopefully I'll be able to share the link with you very soon, and you'll be able to sign it and get all your mates to sign it and get all your dead relatives to sign it and get all the badgers that you've ever met to sign it. Get them to sign it, badger. Oh wow, Canal Frup, thank you. Towards a new mic and fixing your shit Coconut Island IT. Put an LTE Wi-Fi thing on a stick, says Canal. Yes, Canal, absolutely, that's the way to do it. However, the way that the internet works here in this country is that you buy a SIM card for your phone and you get credit on it, and you're given unlimited internet for a week for $7, right? However, it doesn't allow you to make a hotspot. It never used to allow you to do any hotspot at all, and now it only allows you to do 1 gigabyte of hotspot. So when I make my thumbnails in the morning, I use the hotspot just to get some images, get some photos down, whatever, and then put that. I literally send it to Kat on WhatsApp, just do a heading, and then I can use my phone, because I would use Bluetooth, but it's actually quicker to just send it via WhatsApp, which is just mad, because Bluetooth is just like dinosaur tech, granddad tech. Like, oh, no, you got a file? Oh, you want to move your file from your phone to your laptop, do you, Sonny Jim? Oh, just let me get the correct stamp and envelope. Just one moment. I'll just be a moment. Bluetooth, can you hurry up? I'm in a hurry here. Oh, just 1 minute, young man. Can you just sign here? Yeah, and here. Yeah, and here. Yeah, and here. Yeah, and here. Yeah. How many times am I going to have to sign this? About 57 times. Just to send one file. Yes. Why? Bluetooth. Yeah. By sign, I mean click. Anyway, so you only get like 1 gigabyte of shareable data. So I've got like a little hub that I could put an SD card in and then stick it on a top of a stick and then use that as a hotspot and get a really good signal. However, it would only do 1 gig. And so I don't think I'll be able to do an hour-long live show. I don't think. 1 gig is an affront. Some telcos block tethering because newer Android grasses you up that you are tethering. Older phones let you tether without grassing on you. Yeah, I did try and used a VPN to try and stop it grassing on me, but no, it did anyway. Don't do an old person impression, Graham. You sound like Mrs. Overall. Do I sound? That's because all of my voices come from Monty Python. Oh, he was a wonderful man. Ow. He once nailed my head to a table. You can get around hotspot limits. Glitch did a video how, if the Tories carry on, you may just start my villain arc prematurely. Okay, then I'll try that. What's the Starlink roadmap for Ginger? I'm making a petition to ban Elon Musk's X from Britain. Ban this sick filth. I don't really need to be giving him money in any way, shape, or form. And Starlink satellites freak me out a little bit because they're creating a lot of chances of a cascading failure of space junk basically going around the Earth. The Earth's a very, very big place. Don't let the movie Gravity fool you. Yeah, the idea that you could just float from the International Space Station to the Hubble Space Telescope is just it's nonsense. It's like thinking you can float from here to Sydney, Australia, and just be like, yeah, I find it is a big place. But if one of them smashes into another one, you're going to be left with possibly a cascading situation where more of these satellites smash into each other, creating very, very small particles of, particles the wrong word to use because that's obviously talking about very, very, very small bits, but bits. Let's just say very small bits of metal racing around the planet at 300,000 miles an hour or however fast they go, which means that they will just pass through any kind of space station or rocket or man-made thing that is in space. Like it's just not there. Do you know what I mean? It'll just pass through it like a freaking neutrino passing through the earth, except it will leave a hole, leave lots of little tiny holes, which is not good for a human, to have a little tiny hole pierced through your body, through your spacesuit. Kessler syndrome is never actually shown accurately. It's scary. Minimal pixel size is 100,000, 10,000 times bigger than an orbital bit. The cascade effect, yes, that's the gravity film. Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about the fact that in gravity, all these things that places that she goes to are really close to each other. They're not. Leave Elon alone, please. Leave Hema Leon. Unlimited LTE hotspot on PC via phone or USB modem. Glitch tips. Oh, it's a bit late now, but I'll have a look at that to get around that. I got a SIM to the US once and it had unlimited, but the fine print was it was 2G unlimited after the 1G ultra speed. Yeah, it's always the fine print. You need a phone with Android 6 or older. I've got a really old phone actually, which probably could use that. I don't know what Android. Oh yeah, I don't have it with me though. Some telcos block tethering. I've read that one. Yes, it's on the front. But yeah, the stuff badges and other mustards exclude from their backsides. Yeah, and my mum's there. Hi, mum. How you doing? Saying good afternoon. Big shout out to everyone for the generous super chats today. Absolutely wonderfully generous super chats. Thank you so much, especially to Andrew. You can watch Wall-E without crying. Visit a psychiatrist. I was talking about films yesterday, wasn't I? I was talking about Pixar movies, and they always make you cry. Coco's the one that it just floors me every time. Like, every time I watch Coco, I'm in tears at the end. I can't help it. I'm tearing up just thinking about it. Right, where is Ginger Island? I'll look up SpaceX. Ginger Island, just type in, spell it right though. It's Jinja, like ninja, but with a J at the beginning. And just type that into Google, Panama, and it'll come up because it's on Google Maps. The island's on Google Maps. And what else have we got here? Afternoon, Mrs. Hugs, Hughes. Not Hugs. 3 hugs. Anyway, so I going back to the Twitter thing, I really think it would be brilliant if this got picked up by the likes of The Guardian, and then you can imagine all of the right-wing knobhead press going off on one about it, going, "Oh, how dare you censor? He's being cancelled. Help me, I'm being cancelled. I'm melting under my hat because I'm being cancelled so badly." Yeah, Elon, I'd like to cancel you. You see, the thing is, the MPs have called Elon Musk before a committee to talk about his role in the riots over the summer. True story. So they're not happy with him. And I think this is something that, if you want to talk about soft power and soft diplomacy and whatever you call it, the way to get around the problems that we're facing in the world with the rise of fascism, you got to think out of the box. And even if it doesn't happen, it'll annoy Elon. So yeah, I'm wedded to it. I'm committed to it. I'm committed to the bit. You know, there's something I do. It's I commit. I commit to the bit. Because you've got to. You know. What else we got here? Ginger Ninja is too cool. It's Jin. What you need to say is X has gone woke, and then they'll fall over themselves to shut it down. So it's not good, Chris. Very good point. It's gone woke. It's gone woke. The vacuum of space will clear up junk. Says a genie. No, it won't. No. Oh, I see the vac. I see what you've done. Very good. I like that joke. I say we should flood Twitter with badgers. Graham, governments need to start waking up to bird flu. What you mean? The people in government need to get some bird flu? Like they need to wake up in the morning and go, "Oh, I don't feel so well today," and it turns out that it was bird flu all along. It was bird flu all along. So what will happen is if there's the very virulent, very strong strain of bird flu this winter, then people say you should get vaccinated. Everyone should get vaccinated, and you get the knobheads coming out going, "Oh, it's not been tested. It's not been tested. How could they just suddenly have a vaccine for this kind of flu? It's not been tested." And you're like, "No, but it has, because we've got vaccines for the strains of flu. You just make one for this one. It's fine." What we need is nationalised Twitter alternative. We can call it nitwit or roustabout or some classic insult. Poltroon. I think that what we need. I think when it comes to the sort of the loss of the town square, right, in general, just because of the way that life has gone. Sorry, I'm sitting back down again now. The loss of the town square. I think we need to encourage more interaction between people in local areas. There's a certain amount of use of local groups in Facebook, which is good. I mean, a lot of it consists of here's an old photograph of somewhere and here's what it looks like today. But WhatsApp groups as well. I think more local WhatsApp groups, which result in people actually meeting up. I think it's really, really important that we address the fact that we've become more isolated in our ways over the last few years. I mean, this is probably a knock-on effect of the lockdowns and things. But even before then, people were becoming increasingly atomized. They didn't know their neighbors, didn't really hang out at the local pub. All the local pubs are closing down. And I think that's really sad. And I think even if you are introverted and you don't like going out, but you still like being online. I mean, people who don't like socializing necessarily in the real world can still do that online. But if you want to socialize in real life, the options are getting smaller and smaller. And it's not just the fact that local pubs are closing, so you can't just walk to the pub. You've got to get the bus to town or whatever to go out for a drink, or do the pub quiz. But also you've got the fact that it's so expensive to live now. The fact is this, right? Our baby boomer parents, hi mum, back in the 1960s, did half as much work, half as much productivity for twice as much money, relatively. And that is the sad fact of life today, is people are working their absolute arses off, some doing 2 or 3 jobs, and they can barely afford to feed and clothe themselves, never mind children, never mind paying the rent or getting a mortgage on a property. And that's all got to be addressed. That's totally got to be addressed. So yeah, more community-based interaction would be great, and sort of using this anti-Twitter feeling that people have at the moment as a launch pad for saying, let's make the digital personal. Let's start congregating again today. There's another thing as well which comes into this, which is the number of us who have turned away from the church in the last 40 years, the numbers have just gone through the roof of people who just don't go to church anymore. It used to be a thing that people did every week. They see their friends at the church, catch up on all the gossip, maybe go to the pub afterwards, whatever. Um, funny opening times when we were young with the pubs on a Sunday. Do you remember? Like they were allowed to be open at lunchtime. They had to close for a few hours, and they opened again. Oh, it was just weird. It was just weird. Um, yeah, that sort of thing. I would like to see more community forums. I'm a big fan of devolution. I think that the local solutions for local people, to paraphrase the League of Gentlemen, I think would be a really powerful way of making people feel involved in politics, but also their community, and make people feel like they can make a difference. Because a lot of the despondency that people are feeling, a lot of the despair at the moment, and I get this, I completely get this, is the feeling that we can't do anything about it. Because we can't do anything about it, and we can. We actually can. We just need to work together to do so. Um, there's a name for this: social capital. Yes, it's very true. Hey all, happy Friday. This is from the Witchy Goth. I only go out when I'm going to a gig. I'd rather see a decent band than drink. Yeah, but then gigs aren't what they used to be. I mean, when I was a kid, I could go and see. I've got a ticket for like Blair. I saw Blair at the GMEX in 1995, and it was £12.50 for the ticket, and no money to Ticketmaster. Now if you want to go and see a gig like that, I mean, I saw Blair last year. Saw them a couple of times, and saw them in Newcastle, and they were doing a warm-up gig for the Wembley shows, and I was on the guest list. You still have to pay for it. You still have to pay, because that's Ticketmaster and Live Nation. They just run the whole thing like a bunch of bastards. But yeah, it's also, it means that the only people who can afford to go to gigs now are older people. So it's either people taking their kids to go and see Taylor Swift or Christina thingy, or it's like older people going to gigs of bands that they liked when they were younger. And I've got a little bit of a problem with this, and I've spoken about this on this channel before. I hate the fact that you go to Glastonbury, and which I didn't get tickets for this year, unfortunately. Next year, I suppose. You get your tickets to Glastonbury, and it's the lineup is exactly what it was in the 1990s. It's Radiohead and the Foo Fighters and Oasis. It's just like, really, this is the bands that were, because I don't recall in the 1990s the headliners all being from the 60s, which is the equivalent. I mean, it was 30 years earlier. Have a look at the lineup for 1995. Glastonbury. Who was headlining? Pulp. I mean, come on. They were having their summer. They were having their summer with Common People. Best song of the 90s. The Common People, well, they never made it to number one. It was the song that summed up the decade, I think, better than anything else. And I like the fact that it came out in 1995 in the same way that arguably Relax by Frankie Goes to Hollywood was like the 1980s, the ultimate sort of 80s song, and that came out in the mid 80s as well. But yeah, it was, and who was supposed to be playing Glastonbury that year? The Stone Roses. They went. It wasn't the Grateful Dead. It wasn't like headlining. They might have been playing the Legends slot. It wasn't the. I was going to say the Rolling Stones. They have headlined Glastonbury. But usually the bands that people were going to see were bands that were contemporary, like bands that are just like in the charts at the time. They're not bands that were in the charts 30 years earlier. People weren't going to see. The lineup wasn't The Kinks, The Who, and whoever else. Do you know what I mean? Although The Who have also played That's me. And the Kings are big. So I'm making kind of bad analogies here, but I'm talking about the big headline acts were not from 30 years earlier. And now they are. And there's no bands. There's no bands anymore because no one's forming a band, because the only way you can become a famous singer these days or famous musician is if you're a Nepo baby, which is not great. We need a new deal for musicians. Actually, we need a new deal for artists. Well, Elonia has bought herself a whole country. What a toy maker to him. Indeed, all vaccines should be compulsorily tested on anti-vaxxers, says Acro Dave. Yes. Just in case you guys are interested, I'm back on live stream with Reagan Elise next Thursday on his channel. Oh, fantastic, One Angry Pagan. Fantastic. And let Reagan know that I've got his plaque still on the wall. In fact, I'll put a picture of the plaque up on the Discord server. Remind me if I forget. The lack of a town square doesn't worry me. It's the lack of third space locations in real life that worries me more. Hey all, happy Friday. Oh, I read that one. How much was it to watch Taylor Swift mime? Taylor Swift doesn't mime. She's a really good singer. She is. She's a good musician. I'll give her that. I'm going to see Pantera in Leeds and Hal Young in Manchester next year. Yeah, my ticket for Stevie Nicks was my birthday present to me. Also, local bands, supporting them is a brilliant thing. Yeah, YouTube could do so much more when it comes to music to support bands. They should have battles of the bands and things like that, and set up channels that are just for the bands to use that actually pay the bands. And YouTube could, in its own way, become like a record label and nurture bands and get them, have a show each week or even every day, like Top of the Pops, but it's on YouTube. They can find all the new music and have a presenter who's really into the music and really excited about new bands, a la the Whispering guy from the Old Grey Whispering Bob, was it? What's his fucking name from the Old Grey Whistle Test, or John Peel, also, who turned out to be problematic actually, and also privately educated, of course. That's the way it works. That's because it's really hard for a new band to come through with the decimation of the talent scout system. Yeah, that's why I think YouTube could fill that gap, because they've got the reach, and you'd subscribe to a YouTube channel that was like new bands, and they could nurture those bands and basically give them the funds that they require to rehearse and eventually record an album and play live gigs, and you could have all of their live gigs being streamed on YouTube as part of like a whole program that's actually promoted and stuff like that. The best is yet to come, says Donkey. Yes, you're right. Always the case. The last proper band I saw was Metallica in '86. Bloody hell. That was a long time ago. Bullet for My Valentine. The only band I ever saw was Deep Purple. Left me deaf for 3 days afterwards. I lived a very sheltered life. Yeah, Bob Harris, that's his name. Yeah, Richard, do you want earplugs? I always have earplugs, just in case. There's some lads from Leeds on YouTube who go to all festivals. It's a good taste of younger eyes and hardier stomachs. I would like to see certain folk, but too often tickets go to people who have gone to other shows, pushing anyone out from the same experience. Yeah, I agree. Last gig was Hollywood Vampires for me in Glasgow. Yeah, I've not been to a gig in bloody ages. Yeah, have I been to a gig this year? I went to Scouse Christmas or the Africa Oye Festival. I don't think that counts. Bloody hell. I'm trying to think. Oh, last year I went to loads of gigs. Went to see Pulp, saw Blair a couple of times. Saw Natalie Imbruglia. That was great. I saw We Are Scientists. Saw Ash a couple of times. Yeah, that was good. Gotta go to Docks now. Have a fab weekend. All right, have a good time with Goth at the Docks. Biggest band I ever got to see was live was Status Quo. The Quo in 2004. I saw the Rolling Stones at Glastonbury, and I saw them at the Don Valley Stadium in 2004, I think. That was a long time ago. That was brilliant. Really, really enjoyed a bit of the Rolling Stones. Paul McCartney, I saw him at Glasgow years ago. Didn't see him the other year. Didn't get tickets. But yeah. It's just one of them, isn't it? Does anyone in the chat feel Dennis Young could do a better job than Adam Lambert? talking about bands. I'm struggling in the world where Lab Baby has had many Christmas number ones as the Beatles. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's also we also live in a world where people think that Mrs. Brown's Boys is funny and they vote for Donald Trump. Well, I say with the same people. Whoa, the tide's getting really high now. The tide is getting really high, and I've got to crack on with the day. I know I was a bit late getting started, so I should give you a little bit more than usual. But yeah, we've gone 5 minutes over time, and yeah, we've got loads to do. I've only got today and tomorrow to do it in, so I'm going to go and crack on. Ishmael's already working; he's already down on the island. We've got one more bit of wall to build today, or one more barrier to build today. So it's not really a wall because it's made of tree trunks and stuff. It's not really made of. You think of a wall, you think of bricks, don't you? Or stone, right? Yeah, we run out of stones, so now it's all being made out of other stuff. But yeah, so I'm going to go and crack on with that. And I just want to say a huge thank you to Andrew and everyone else who's dropped a super chat in this morning. That is just absolutely phenomenal, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Mrs. Brown's Boys was about as funny as syphilis, says Acro Dave. You're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. This will probably be the last broadcast from Ginger Island. Like I say, I'm leaving early on Sunday morning. I might do, you know, if I've got some data or whatever, I might try and do a little bit tomorrow of us planting trees. I might put that to stream on YouTube if I can get a decent signal, so you can see what we're doing on the island there. So you know, look out for that. And like I say, there's a quick tour of the island. There's just run around the island. There's a video that's going to be available in the next sort of 10-15 minutes. As soon as I get the thumbnail made, I will send that to you. But yeah, Andrew Dixon is a star. Andrew Dixon is absolutely a star. Thank you so much. Have a safe journey home and look forward to seeing you at the normal time of 9:30. Okay, so Andrew, thank you very much for that. And thanks for the super chat. However, next week I'm going to be in an undisclosed location for a week. And I can't disclose it for various reasons that I can't disclose at the moment. I'm under a super injunction. But I'm not going to be in the UK. I'm going somewhere else, but I'm still not going to be in the UK, and I'm still going to be in a different time zone. So we might be doing Mystery Brew from Monday, which may well be. I don't know. I will be in an airport very early. I'll be in Costa Rica in very early on Monday. If I've got time before I get on my flight, I will try and do a morning brew or a mystery brew to Canberra. But I will be trying to do this next week. I can't guarantee what time it will be at because it will depend on a few different factors. But I'll be trying to do a live show each day. I'll be striving to that for the next week, and then the week after, hopefully we will eventually get back to some kind of business as usual on the channel, as we know and love, and we can bring back the Friday night social and the properly we can bring back the stateside show and Geoscope and do more episodes of the Intersection in the run up to Christmas. So yeah, look out for that. But yeah, I will be trying to make some live content each day, putting some videos out there for you. So thank you very much. And yeah, I look forward to broadcasting from a mystery location next week. Mystery brew. Woo! Okay, I'm going to go now. All right, take care. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks so much for the super chats, especially Andrew. Thank you. You are a legend. And I will say, until next time, hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.